Hey, Battle Bill, here with another video, getting some more Season 12 Go Battle League battles. He's taking place in the Open Ultra League meta with a submission from a fellow PvPer and teenage prodigy of the community by the name of Snots. He claims to be better than fellow content creators Yasser Lead, peaking as high as 59 on the leaderboards, and he has come and brought us some content today in the form of Milotic in some Ultra Premier battles. Did I say Open Ultra? I meant to say Ultra Premier. Regardless, Snots is not at the current leaderboard elo at this current moment, but has decided to put Milotic together as a little spice option to see how well it can perform in this Ultra Premier match meta, and see if it can give you a diverse non-XL pick for some success. So as we jump into these battles, thank you to Snots. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, as you'll also notice his Milotic is single moved, but that's only for the first two battles, and then he double moves it or third moves it, or two charge moves, the whole kit and caboodle, and then the Milotic really pops off. So let's get into the commentating and let's see how well he's able to work this team of three. As we get towards the back end of this match, he's throwing a Surf against a Shadow Charizard. What a goddamn pick in the Ultra Premier meta. They're able to Dragon Breath down. Is that Dragon Breath? The Milotic all the way down. They're getting to a charge move here. Ends up being a Blast Burn. He has his Talonflame left with a Flame Charge. This will be enough for the Charizard's remaining health, and then there's a Heracross with a little bit of health left over. That Incinerate hits, and it's GG's to their opponent. Getting to the next matchup, we have Milotic on another Charizard lead. The opponent safe swaps into their own Milotic. Milotics are wild. Is this what the meta is? Did I miss something? Did I miss the memo? He matches with a Wolverine, which is an interesting matchup. He's taking neutral damage from the Dragon Tails, but he's dealing a bunch of resisted damage of his own and has to land Earthquakes for big neutral damage. The Milotic's also going to want to land some big neutral damage in the form of Hyper Beam, which is why having that third move is important, because when you're stuck against another water type, you don't want to be throwing Surfs at it like the opponent did. He gets to another Earthquake here. Will this be enough? Will this land? Will this get the opponent's shields? It lands. Milotic is thick. The Milotic survives that relatively comfortably. He's committing no shields. He's giving up switch here because he knows he can line that Charizard up with his Talonflame worst case scenario. He now comes in with his Milotic, goes for the Dragon Tail farm down. Milotic gets to another charge move. Will this be a Hyper Beam? Ends up just being a resisted Surf, and now we're waiting to see what the opponent transitions into to flip switch to line up now their Roserade against his Milotic. So not a fantastic situation for his Milotic to be in, but it looks like Talonflame honestly should be able to clutch this comfortably with two shields. Can Brave Bird the Charizard? Does this one shot? Almost does. Gets an Incinerate through on the opponent's charge move. They're throwing it. He's got the two shields. He's going to use it. The Roserade's going to have to come back in, but just has no play. Even with Bullet Seed spam, this is only a Weather Ball, and even debuff from Brave Bird is just not going to do any damage to Talonflame because of the lack of stab and the fact that Talonflame resists. So GG's to that opponent. Getting to the next one, we got a Milotic on a Crobat lead. The opponent safe swaps. Is this Crobat double charm? Safe swapping into a Charmer usually screams and means that in the Ultra Premier meta. So he's able to match and wall this Clefable with his Talonflame. So he's sitting here comfortably through a Flame Charge, going to respect the charge move, probably go for a full Incinerate farm down. Ends up being a Psychic, no debuff, which is clutch. Is he committing to the Incinerate farm down? Yes, he is. Keeps alignment, is at a shield disadvantage, but has a boatload of energy on his Talonflame. Waiting for the opponent to respond. They come in with their Crobat. He is going to throw an Incinerate's a fast move, silly. Throw a Flame Charge, gets the opponent's first shield, throws an Incinerate to get to another charge move, ends up being the Brave Bird. Will this land? No, it gets both the opponent's shields, and then he pivots into his Milotic. Top tier pivot play here, because he knows even if the Crobat decides to swap out, he can go into his wall, or he can have his Wolverine line up with the Crobat later and have a comfortable matchup against it regardless. But the Crobat is staying in. The opponent is not matching his pivot, and then they do. They swap into Kanto Muck. He's going for the beam! Alolan Muck. I'm sorry. I saw the jab. I assumed it was Kanto. Ends up being an Alolan Muck. Lands the beam. Does a little bit of an underwhelming amount of damage here, because when you see a beam land, you just want it to one-shot the opponent. He gets off the Surf, takes out the Alolan Muck's remaining health, and now has a one-shield Wolverine against the opponent's Crobat, and this is GG's. He's even one-shield flex flexing because he knows even if it's a Shadow Ball or the Poison Fang, it doesn't make a difference. He's going to be able to tank it, and he was even building up to the Earthquake as he Powder Snow down to give a little BM action to them because they just did not top left. Never say die, trainers. No, in that case, you do top left. Definitely say die. You had no win comma, opponent, brother. Getting to the next one, we got a Milotic lead up against a normal Drapion, or non-Shadow Drapion. They then save swap into a Trevenant. He matches with his Walrein. Walrein on Trev is still a good matchup in Ultra League, even with the Icicle Spear nerf that happened earlier in this season. Great League, Walrein is a little uncomfy against Trev because he can't tank a Seed Bomb well, but here Walrein is just so thick, blubbery, and bulky that it can eat the Seed Bomb like Snots is about to do. It's coming through, it puts him in the yellow. He's going to even do an extra Powder Snow there, get to the Icicle Spear. This should take out the Trevenant's remaining health. It gets the shields instead. The opponent is looking to throw another Seed Bomb. He's deciding to let it come through, fully recognizing the fact that he can farm down this Talonflame, and a one shield Talonflame with energy is a beast. But instead, the opponent pivots themselves, goes into Swampert, lines up the Swampert against his Milotic, and we're getting more goddamn beam action. Boom! Still isn't one shot because Milotic is a thick Mon with a combination of fast moves of Dragon Tail, Surf, and as you see, Hyper Beam in back-to-back matches. It can hit for some impressive damage, but because of its bulkiness, it takes a little while. It moves a little slow, and sometimes the big moves don't hit as nicely as you prefer the big moves to hit, but they hit well enough. Talonflame is able to incinerate down a Swampert. Talonflame is a Swampert counter confirmed. Waiting for the opponent to make a play here. They come into their Trev, but then as he throws the Flame Charge that would have taken it out, the opponent swaps and catches on the Drapion. Let's see if he's going to be able to play his way out of this one, because that Trev might have some energy. He has to be careful. Charge move coming through from the Drapion ends up being a Sludge Bomb. He's building up to 2 Flame Charges, and as long as the Trev does not have a Shadow Ball, this match is GG's. Drapion goes down. Trevenant coming back in, doesn't have the Shadow Ball. They throw the Shadow Claw. He gets to the Flame Charge, and boom, there goes the rest of that Trevenant itself. Talonflame with a nice little sweep action towards the end there. Getting to the next match, we have Milotic up against a Goodra lead. This is a positive matchup for Milotic because of the fact that you want to run Dragon Tail. Milotic also has access to Waterfall, which could be good stab damage, but the diversity of having a Dragon Fast move allows Milotic to do something as a water type that not many can do, which is beat Dragon types, because typically Dragons resist water damage, as you see there. The opponent did throw a Power Whip that Snots was able to shield. They're getting to a Muddy Water here, which does literally no damage, but gets the attack debuff. He's Dragon Tailing his way up to a bunch of energy, decides to stay in, not looking to pivot, goes for the debuffed beam. Does another beam land? Boom! That did no damage. That was even worse than the previous ones, obviously because of the attack debuff. Lapper's getting to a charge move here, ends up being a Surf. Will the Milotic survive all these Ice Shards to get to another Hyper Beam? Unfortunately not. Imagine two beams in one matchup, even though both of them would have literally done no damage. He gets off the Surf here, gonna go into Walrein. Not in the best circumstances. At the very least though, the Lapras is practically dead. They do land a Skull Bash, which, you know, Walrein tanked quite well. He's gonna have to throw quite a bit of damage here. Honestly, might opt for the Earthquake neutral damage to get rid of the Lapras, but probably, oh yep, that's exactly what he's gonna do. Look at that, Giga Brain, Big Brain Battle Bill, knows his plays. Doesn't say throw an Icicle Spear, and what's that, double resisted? You might literally be there all month trying to Icicle Spear down the Lapras and protect your energy, and then end up eating way too much damage, and the Walrein then goes down. The opponent's last Mon, though, is a 2-shielded Chandelure, so he's not sitting in a great spot here. The Chandelure is going for a charge move, was probably hoping to call a Flame Charge there, ends up being a Shadow Ball, which does a huge chunk of the Talonflame's total health. They shield the Flame Charge that comes through. Can the Chandelure go for the Incinerate farm down? They're definitely trying to. The last Incinerate sneaks through. Snots is throwing his Flame Charge. It should get the remaining shield, but I don't think this Walrein is going to get to a charge move in time. Oh, it might. He's got the shield for the Flame Charge coming through, and as his Icicle Spear loaded up, he CMP ties on the final charge move, and the Chandelure just barely comes in and clutches that match out for the opponent. So his first loss with this team, which honestly, you know, highly respectable team. Even at his current elo, he's not actually at leaderboard elo right now doing these matches. He's in the 2200s. Even there, though, there are some highly competitive and skilled battlers here, and the fact that he's still able to win with Milotic and then runs into a trainer that's able to win with Chandelure, big respect on both ends of these battles. Getting into the next one, We got a Walrein on a Talonflame matchup. I don't know how the leads went here, but regardless, it looks like he's going to either try to go for a switch or commit to keeping alignment, throwing his Icicle Spears at the perfect timing, because Powder Snow is a 2-turn move, and because it's a 2-turn move, you can sneak in 2 of them per Incinerate that's coming through from Talonflame, which is a 5-turn move. He gets off another Icicle Spear here. Does it get the shield? No, it takes out the Talonflame's remaining health because silly me was so distracted. Talonflame had no shield to use. Third shield confirmed, incoming. Either way, Walrein survives with 1 HP, gets off the Icicle Spear, comes in with the Talonflame, calling or the Trevenant through too early. No, he was trying to call the bait. Ends up being a Shadow Ball, which does a good chunk of damage to his Talonflame. The opponent's last mon is little Alolan Ninetales, and they thought they could come in and try and charm down. Even with eating that Shadow Ball that had come through from the Trevenant, Talonflame has put a hurting on this Alolan Ninetales. He's going to come in with his Milotic, though, and throw some non-stab, double-resisted goddamn Dragon Tails at this Alolan Ninetales as it charms some of the Milotic's health. The Alolan Ninetales is getting to a charge move, ends up being a resisted Weather Ball. He is still committing to the Dragon Tail down. The opponent has not swapped out. He's got a beam ready. Does he beam? He throws a double resisted beam towards the Ghost type Trevenant to win this match. GG's to the opponent there. Holy Christ, what a goddamn scenario. Getting to this next one, we got a Milotic on a Surfetch lead. Surfetch does not eat these Dragon Tails well, but this cannot be a great matchup for the Milotic because it's going to be taking super effective damage from the Leaf Blades, and Surfetch is quite spammy and attack heavy. He's getting to his first Surf here. Will he play out this matchup, or is he going to swap out? The Surfetch matches shields. He swaps, catches the charge move. Should be another Leaf Blade on the Talonflame. Fantastic play. Double resisted, does no damage, but is in an unfortunate situation alignment wise, because now the opponent lined up their Swampert with his Talonflame. He can eat a Hydro Cannon relatively comfortably. The question is, how is he going to build up his energy? He goes 1 over the Brave Bird, going for the Brave Bird. Does it land? It does. It does an insane chunk of the Swampert's remaining health. Tries to get to the Flame Charge. They fast move each other down between the Mud Shots coming through from the Swampert and the Incinerates landing on the Swampert itself. He then comes back into his Milotic and is not sitting in a great spot because he gets matched up with a Trevenant. This should be super effective Seed Bombs, which it is. He's going to want to opt to swap into his Walrein, but now it's going to get matched by the Fighting type Surfetch, which is dealing super effective counter damage. He's going for an Icicle Spear, gets the opponent's last shield. They're getting to a charge move here. Should be the Leaf Blade. Has to commit to Walrein at this point. Can he outpace because of that catch that he made? He not only outpaces, he overfarms because he knows exactly where the Surfetch's count is. Gets the Icicle Spear off, takes out the Surfetch, tries to get to his own Icicle Spear on his Walrein, but the Trevenant just outpaces him, and this is going to be GG's for this match. Gonna throw the Surf, but Trevenant has way too much health left, and the fact that, you know, it resists the Surf damage, he's not gonna be able to take it out or land a potential beam for the content. Getting to this next matchup, we got a Milotic on a Gyarados lead. The Gyarados is running Bite, and this is what will happen when you're doing some battles in the 2200s. Bite Gyarados, not meta. Don't do it. Change it. Dragon Breath, Waterfall, so many other charge moves that you could run. Maybe Bite Gyarados in Open Ultra where you see a bajillion ghosts, but even then you could still Elite TM to get Dragon Tail or just run Dragon Breath, because you know a lot of those dark ghost types and psychic types, well, really the ghost, I'm thinking Giratina off the top of my head, would take super effective from either move. Regardless, he's got Talonflame in the back after taking out the Gyarados, and Talonflame should literally just sweep his opponent's back line between the Scrafty and the Venusaur that is left. Plus, he's got his own Walrein to match up with the Venusaur, and based on the fact that it's an even shielding scenario, Walrein is going to sit comfortably. He just needs to essentially spam Flame Charge after Flame Charge against the Scrafty. The opponent is starting to commit shields. I'm sure he will probably match the opponent's shields here. Potentially commit to an Incinerate farm down. Does get baited there, a little unfortunate. Definitely gonna go for the Incinerate farm down. The opponent gets off another charge move. He's letting it through, recognizes that it should just be another pup. Talonflame can comfortably survive. Venusaur comes in because Crafty got taken out. Gonna be able to almost throw back-to-back flame charges. The first one gets to the last shield. The opponent gets to a charge move, ends up being a Frenzy Plant. Decides to prolong this matchup where he already slaughtered them and hard aligned against them pretty easily. Decides to extend it out more because he could have shielded the Talonflame and then got another Flame Charge off and just won it. But instead, why not let Walrein feel like and look like it's actually doing something and get to an Icicle Spear there and take out the Venusaur. Getting to the next matchup, we got a Milotic on another Crobat lead. Seeing some consistent leads around this ELO mark. He's going to be wanting to spam as many surfs as possible. Crobats are going to be looking to spam Poison Fangs on their end. The question is, who wins this matchup? Because it's definitely not one you see very often. I want to say, actually, the way it's looking, he's already at 2 surfs. I was going to say, based on the Poison Fang debuff, maybe Crobat's able to pull this one out. He gets his opponent's first shield, gets to another surf here. Should just be another Poison Fang, which even debuffed Milotic can tank comfortably. But at this point, if the opponent decides to commit another shield, he'd be at a huge shield advantage. He would be at a huge shield advantage, but he's going to lose lead. So, you know, the question is, was that cost of winning lead worth it? And then Snots comes in with his wall rain to comfortably eat whatever charge moves the Crobat decides to throw. Even a Shadow Ball literally only does about a third of Wolverine's health, commits the Powder Snow down, and honestly, this 2 shield to no shield advantage is going to allow his Wolverine to pop off so hard that it's going to take out a fighter. Ice counters fire, confirmed. Wolverine counters Surf Fetch. We're seeing it all in these Ultra Premier battles. Wait, is he going to be able to Powder Snow down? Oh, he should have committed for the content so I can fully say that sentence through. Swabs into the Talonflame though to catch a charge move. Incinerates down. Opponent's last mon is Tangrowth, and with shields is GG's. Even though Tangrowth, as a grass type, does get access to Rock Slide, and with Rock Slide can turn the tables on Talonflame in certain circumstances. But yo, thank you so much, Snots, for submitting these battles. I'll drop his Twitter link so you can check out, you know, more of his updates and what kind of teams he's running, because he's a highly top tier battler. Like I said, even greater than the Yasser Elite. I know, crazy stuff. Yasser calls himself best PvP in the world. Snots is going for that throne. On that note, though, thank you so much for watching these battles. And of course, Snots, thank you for the submission. I don't know if I said that or not. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Preach!